everyone to Not In, All In, the podcast at Not In Hall of Fame, where we just sort of like talk about whatever the hell we want to discuss. I'm Kirk Buchner. I run this joint, notinhallofFame.com, and the United States Athletic Hall of Fame, of which these two gentlemen, Chris Mouradian and Dave Whitlock, are a big part of. You, after this, or pause this, however you want to do this, go on www.theusahof.com and help us shape the third United States Athletic Hall of Fame class. Because you know what? Nobody came up with the idea to combine all American athletes. So we did. And we trademarked it. It's mine. Just want to put that out there.
Owned by a Canadian. There you go.
It took a Canadian.
Ouch.
And to be fair, when my partner in that, Evan Nolan, we actually don't remember which one of us came up with it first. It was probably one of those things where we were bantering back and forth. It might even be recorded somewhere. So I really hope that Evan and I remain friends so that we never have to go to court to sort of figure this out. But long story short, it was something that maybe it wasn't a Canadian who figured out. Might have been the Canadian who kind of did all the writing and the bit of the back end work. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's a lot of fun and it's something that you can all be a part of. I sent over to Dave and Chris. They know, along with myself, of course, who's currently leading. And thank you all guys who have been voting, because we haven't gotten a lot of votes on coaches and contributors before, but we're getting just as many on that category as we are the athletes. That's never happened. So, that's pretty cool, I thought. Yeah.
Good to see people engaged and looking up and down the ballot. We all know sports isn't always all about the athletes. There's contributors, coaches, executives that really help shape and put the teams and sports into place to succeed.
Yeah. And before we sort of talk all things football, or maybe this might be football related, I don't know. Dave, who's your sportsman of the week?
The sportsman of the week is, let me just double check to make sure I'm not a week off. But it is actually, let's see, has not been named yet.
Has not been named yet. Okay, that's all right. So we'll do that next week, and then you can let everyone know what that is. But if they want to know who all the people were in the past, and it's sort of funny, I mentioned Jeremy Lin finally retired, and that was one of your early ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I started in 2012, and he had that amazing run in February of that year. So he was like the fourth or fifth sportsman of the week. So we're coming full circle now from the beginning to the end.
And where can people see that?
At lhd-on-sports.com. It's pretty much the only blog I put out every week. Every now and then I'll do a color feature, so to speak, but mostly a sportsman of the week. Just kept it going now 13 years. So we're to the 600s or 700s.
Okay, sounds good. One other thing too, before we sort of begin, Chris, I don't know if you know this. Two things. There's something happened today. You got to stay in Wisconsin. Aaron Rodgers made a pitch for you to stay, and apparently a bunch of people flipped their votes. So it actually worked in your benefit. So you're allowed to stay. And also, yes, Ted, my webmaster, he sort of created an AI song about you. So
oh no.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Pissed off Chris is the best Chris. Call it out, he sees. We'll sugarcoat this.
I don't know if you heard that, but it was pissed off Chris. He's the best Chris.
Oh yeah.
Like he sees it.
Unfortunately, it did not come through on the microphone there, but hopefully it picks up on the recording here.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how AI does it, but apparently that was very Metallica-like.
All right. It did some really Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I thought it was pretty cool.
Hey, we still got to work on the contraction, get those 6 teams out of MLB and get rid of the DH and all the other great ideas to fix Major League Baseball.
And that's another show. Chris is Chris. Well, speaking of pissed off, I was trying to see if we can get Paul Lawrence here, but he's going to a barbecue tonight. Paul, our good friend and Pro Football Hall of Fame expert, he's also a Dallas Cowboys fan. So he's on the other end of that platform where I guess if you're a Dallas fan, you're kind of pissed off. But if you're like Chris, a Green Bay fan, this was a pretty good week for you. Long story short, for those hiding under a rock, Micah Parsons, who is, or as Jerry Jones calls him, Michael.
That's about right. Man's delusional.
Yes. Yep.
See now, all that stuff.
Could be. Traded him to Green Bay. Now, this could work out for Dallas. We've seen Devers, Raphael, which we both all panned. And that could still change the other way, but he's of the belief that maybe addition by subtraction. But let's be blunt. This is something where egos got involved. And he jumped the gun. Got only 2 first-round picks for a top 10 player who's 25 or 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about the salary and contract too. Now they got to pay him a ton of money, and that's going to detract from what they can pay other people. I could go on in baseball about this. Like, how can you not sign XYZ player? Well, if you sign XYZ player, that means you completely restrict any ability and flexibility for other players. So
Right.
now the Cowboys are signing additional players, starting to lock up some of their linemen and defensive backs. So if they have a strategy, we'll see if it works.
But part of this also is him putting the bullseye in his own foot. He could have done this a year ago and signed him cheaper. Dak Prescott could have been signed cheaper, but he let that go to the end. CeeDee Lamb, another one.
Yep.
Right. So I financially, I get it. And if you're a Dallas fan, and I was, going on some Dallas blogs today, and as they'll tell you, it's not like they were going to overtake Washington or Philly this year.
Yeah.
So what you'll do with these picks, great. I still think no matter how this transpires, nobody can tell me that they couldn't have got more. And sometimes you just got to go all in when you've got that window. If you've got a team like Green Bay has, New Orleans was going for stuff, and I'm going to have to wear a paper bag all year.
Yeah.
So don't dismiss Kenny Clark. He is not just a throw-in salary match type player. He is a solid football player in the middle of the defense there. Injury aside, he's put in 9 solid seasons for Green Bay. They liked him a lot. He was a leader on that defense, a leader in the locker room. He's going to be there for Dallas. They're going to like him as a player down there. The first-round draft picks, you'd like to think, especially from my side of the equation here, that they're going to be a couple of 32s going back. But they're going to be later picks based on just the team that Green Bay is and is projected to be over the next couple of years. So Dallas has been solid at picking first-round players, focusing on the lines. And, Mazi Smith aside, they have been able to find some stronger players later in the draft. So with a situation like this, you really can't judge this trade until you know who the players are, how the things worked out. So it's going to be on paper today, Green Bay wins the draft or wins the trade, but 3 years down the road, Dallas may have a couple of Pro Bowl tackles or defensive tackles, whatever, and they're younger and are ascending. And they'll look back at it and say, this trade helped us reshape our team for the next 6, 7, 8 years. So it's going to be a while before anybody really knows who won, who lost the trade. It could end up being great for both teams. But to what Dave mentioned there about the money, that is going to be tricky. Green Bay does have a very strong front office. Russ Ball does a really good job with being able to make the numbers work on the contracts. The one thing that I will say is going to work in their advantage, it's going to work for everybody, but for them being able to pull this off is the salary cap is going to continue to go up. It's not going to go down. So you are going to have some additional flexibility going forward here. It may cost them being able to hold on to everybody as their contracts start to come due here. Make some tough decisions, but they're a draft and develop team. They've been able to find good players, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, that have been able to come in and start and be solid contributors on their team. So exciting times here for us in Wisconsin and for Packer fans across the nation. We'll see how it goes, but feeling a lot better about the team than we did a week ago.
Well said.
Yeah, your enthusiastic Chris isn't there. I was sort of thinking that you're going to be like you're tempering, but I get that. I mean, I'm the same guy too.
Yeah. So last week Thursday, you probably would have had a little different
right
energy level, but let's had some time to settle in and think about it, and it's just kind of now the work starts. And the video of him at practice today, the news about what's really going on with his back, how much that's going to affect his start to the season here. I think the nice thing is they can kind of ease him in the first couple of weeks here, get a little extra break with the early Thursday night game. So we'll see how it goes. But it's more about how he's feeling in January, February than in really September here. So yeah, we're excited.
So there you go. Yes. And final thought is Jerry Jones and the Mount Rushmore of people who got elected to the Hall of Fame and maybe shouldn't and should be removed afterwards.
I'll just start. I'm not a big Hall of Fame historian, so I can't name 3 other people, but his influence in the way he changed things from the 90s to today, he's just been that overwhelming figure. So I have trouble saying he's not somehow in that pantheon of worthy, but it's been 30 years since they've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think looking back at what he did in the 90s, taking the team and bringing them back to relevance again, really does play a lot into it. And perhaps if he'd have sold the team off 10 years ago, we would be having this conversation today, but his legacy would have looked a lot stronger. I do think that he's kind of running things the way he wants them to, thinks they should be run, as opposed to the way they are run in today's NFL. And that's just not going to necessarily work out every time like that. And but I will say, I don't know if either one of you guys watched Landman, but he had one of the strongest scenes in the first season last year. So
okay, no, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's worth your time.
I need him to be on King of the Hill, and then that'll be more in my up my alley, literally inside joke. But Al Davis is another guy. Like Al Davis had some great successes, some success with a way of doing business, and then eventually it became a comical show of bad decisions, bad coaching, and running a franchise into the ground. But both are legendary in the NFL service.
Maybe I should do a Hall of Fame for athletes and who do cameos. Although nothing will ever top Xavier McDaniel in singles. And guys,
I'm not familiar, so
okay. Early 90s film. The X-Man who was playing for the Sonics at the time. And there's a sex scene going on with 2 of the young Seattleites. And so she's asking, I think it's Kira Sedgwick, who you all may know as Kevin Bacon's wife, saying to Campbell Scott. So as they're sort of doing that, what are you thinking of? And then Campbell Scott, it's flashing to Xavier McDaniel, who says, we gotta go out there, you gotta play hard. Oh, and remember, Scott, don't come. I wasn't planning to use this quote today, so I probably butchered it, but
you're paraphrasing. There you go.
I'm paraphrasing, but it's not better than that.
Okay.
He would later sort of appear on Married with Children, where he stuffed Al in a basket. But anyway, the other thing that we're doing today is I've asked the gentleman here to do 10 NFL predictions. I'll start, so I'm just going to rapid fire them out, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah. These are predictions that if you're going to bet on this on whatever betting platform, don't do it because I'm always wrong.
Same here. I'll preemptively say these are horrible suggestions, but I'm going to stand by them until week 2 when I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, here's my predictions. Number 1, Kansas City does not return to the Super Bowl. They're barely going to win 11 games. And if they make the playoffs, they're one and done. All the excess around them is going to catch up. Last year, They were a very lucky team that could have very well been 10-7. The ball bounced a different way. I think it's turning back into a pumpkin. It's been a great run. It's still, I'm not saying that next year it'll be different. They might go right back up. This year, things are going to catch up to them. Kansas City does not return to the Super Bowl. And if they do to the playoffs, 1 out, done. Prediction number 1. Prediction number 2. This one I'm sort of going, I don't know if it's out on the limb, but Jan Robinson is going to lead the league in yards from scrimmage. The Falcons running back.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan. What did I say? Dijon?
Yeah, he said something like
Making
that.
a ham sandwich earlier. Sorry.
I'm going to have to revise mine. So far, we're 2 for 2 picking off mine, but okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, number 3, let's see how this happens. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have a winning record. Whether that has anything to do with Aaron Rodgers or not, I don't know. I just think the Steelers defense overall is really, really good. I like a lot of their weapons. And if Rodgers falters, I think there's other stuff around them. I'm not going to predict anything about Aaron Rodgers. I just like the Steelers.
Well, that's kind of on my board, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Same.
Okay.
A little different take on it.
Right. Number 4, the New England Patriots will have 5 more wins than the University of North Carolina.
I like that one.
It's good.
Number 5, for the first time ever, the National Football League will see 5 tight ends with 1,000 yards.
Oh, I could see
That's
that.
never happened before. I was checking all up. It's 4 is the maximum so far. I went back to the mid 2000s. I didn't think I had to go back any further than that. So I think I'm pretty safe on that to say that it's never happened before. But last year there was 3 and 5 of them had at least 800. And they're very, very young people who did that. So I think that's gonna be a record this year.
Okay.
Number 6, actually the next 2 are related to Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield is a Pro Bowler for the 3rd straight year.
Okay.
Mike Evans will break Jerry Rice's record of the most consecutive 1,000-yard receiving season. Number 8, San Francisco wins the NFC West very easily and will at least win a game in the playoffs. You don't like that one?
I have a very contradictory pick to that.
Same.
All right. Well, all right. That's a beer bet for you and I, Dave, and that's a meal bet for you and I, Chris. Number 9, the Detroit Lions do not finish in the top 2 in the NFC North. Not saying they won't make the playoffs, but I think 2 teams will do better than they. I think Detroit has lost a lot of talent, both on the field and in the brain trust. And I see a regression in their future. I don't want that to happen. I love my blue collar city teams, but and number 10, I already sort of like gave it away. I'm going to need a lot of paper bags. New Orleans is going to finish dead last. And I think a lot of people are going to say that. I think I'm going to buy tickets for the game 3 here in Seattle. Yeah, I'm bringing a paper bag. I'm going to need it. I'm hoping that I'm going to get on TV wearing that damn paper bag. We'll see.
You gotta make sure you put something on there like
really
Hall or something like that. Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I've never brought a prop to a game before. I've worn jerseys and shit, but I've never brought a prop.
Yeah.
Like even Canadians know the Saints are something.
Those are my 10 predictions.
All right.
Whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
Chris?
Okay, I'll go. All right. To kind of take team up of a couple of years there, Kirk. Pittsburgh will have a losing record this year. I think the Aaron Rodgers thing is a mess over there. It's just going to fall apart, and I feel bad for Mike Tomlin that they haven't been able to find him a replacement quarterback for Ben Roethlisberger yet.
Okay.
So LA Rams I have is winning the NFC West. So I know you said you had the
Niners in
the Niners winning easily. Yeah. And then the other one I agree with you on. I had the Saints having the worst record in the league this year.
Yeah, no, that's not even a prediction. I mean, it's just a statistical certainty.
Yeah.
What do they have? I think 30,000 to 1 for the Saints to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to waste $1.
I was going to say, I always put $1 on that, but
Yeah. So beyond that, kind of in a little bit of your realm there, there's going to be 25 players that have over 1,000 yards receiving this year.
Mm. Okay.
So kind of getting a little more broad. I have Green Bay winning the NFC North, Tampa Bay winning the NFC South, and Philadelphia winning the NFC East. Denver winning the AFC West. So kind of with you there with Kansas City kind of taking a step back. I think Denver is going to take that step forward. And then Baltimore, Buffalo, and then I'm coming with Houston coming back there. I know we got a Houston guy on here that's going to be able to maybe talk a little more about it than I can.
I've got some Houston predictions in here, absolutely.
Yeah. And then last one Super Bowl was LA Rams and Buffalo Bills, with the Bills finally getting their first Super Bowl win.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. So that's my play for this summer.
Now,
or fall, winter, whatever.
That's interesting because all we did was throw out there, come up with 10 things, but we all seem to have similar themes. Sometimes we agree completely, sometimes we disagree. And I mean, some of the stuff you were saying, I was like, okay, that's number 3 to number 4. So I'll start with the Chiefs don't make the AFC Championship game. That was my first prediction. Kirk, you alluded to it. They may make the playoffs and lose one. That's the same thing as not making the championship game. I think they made it 7, 8 years in a row. But all the things you said, catching up to them, you start to erode with age. You know, Kelsey's not going to be the same guy. Mahomes is not going to be the same guy. So totally agree on that. I've got a Ravens-Bills AFC Championship game. I think those two teams are going to be as strong as ever. And in that regard, they both got great young quarterbacks. They're both seemingly stepping up and peaking. They both just kind of been stymied by the Chiefs, one or the other. So that's my prediction there. As for the Texans, I think they're one of the best teams, but they've always been caught in this cycle. When their best teams occur, it's like during the peak Brady era or a couple of Ravens teams that were good. So they were going to have a great team. They may not be the third or maybe the fourth best team, because if you throw in the Bengals, they could be the fifth best team. They could be a team that wins 12, 13 games. They're just not as good as those other teams, not as complete, as experienced. So I think the Texans will have a great year. I think they'll win the South. But I think, once again, they've just been this perpetual team that wins the wild card round, loses the second round. Never quite good enough to have that 14-3 record to get that bye. So great for the Texans, but they'll be 2 and done. I think they'll win the first round and then lose to either the Ravens or Bills, as I predicted. Back to Tampa Bay, you alluded to, always a sneaky team since they didn't have Brady. They've been a team that people, I think, overlook. I love Baker Mayfield, what he brings there. So they're going to win a road playoff game. If they win their division, they'll win that first round and then win the next round and maybe make that championship game. They're balanced, as you said, Mike Evans. So they're a sneaky, good team. Let's talk about the Steelers. It's going to be a disaster. They're not going to go 500. They are going to have their first season in the Tomlin era under the Rodgers thing. He's aged. He doesn't have that. He was good when he had some sort of ownership of the team and he's been around the guys. He was around for several years before he was even the starter. So he knew throw him in a new situation, it's not going to work. They're grasping at straws. It'll be a complete disaster for Pittsburgh. I have Bijan Robinson winning the MVP and the Falcons doing some upsetting in the playoffs. We'll have to see what their quarterback does, Penix, but I think Bijan's the real deal. I think a mix of getting him in there is going to be good for him. Nobody talked about the Cowboys. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. Dak is perpetually overrated. They're going to have injuries. They'll have all this drama. They don't have Parsons. So put that on the board. I think Jaden Daniels takes a step back. I saw what happened to CJ Stroud. He had a great rookie year. Very few interceptions. There is miles and miles of tape on the kid now, man. Every defense is studying how to stop him, what his tendencies are. You can do that week to week, but at a full off season, especially the rivals like the Eagles, like the Cowboys that have some good defenses, he'll be good, but he won't be. So the Commanders, as a result, will kind of be a little bit more of a middling team, I think some people are saying. Let's see. I think Shedeur Sanders starts at least 4 games for the Browns. I think that's going to be a complete disaster in that city.
I had that. I forgot to actually input it. Sorry, but yeah.
Not because he's like earned his way. It'll just be a complete desperation situation, given that they're playing against the Ravens, the Bengals, a weakened Steelers team. It's going to be horrible. And so they're going to throw him out there, and I hope he does well. We've talked about it on our show before.
Yeah, none of us have any issue there. If I can, just like one thing that I had in my head and I forgot to put on, and that was going to be one of my 10. Shador is going to start by week 8.
No, that's about the same.
And I forgot completely. I had it, and then I was going through other stuff, and that was going to be one of mine. But yeah. But yeah, I didn't think he was going to do well.
No, I think he'll just be.
Right, I got nothing against him.
I want to see him play as much as anybody. I'm not for or against him, but I think the Browns are just taking 2 steps back for every step forward, and might as well. Both New York teams will win like 4 games or fewer. I think the Jets and Giants will be complete disasters. And then on the Niners, big step back for the Niners. They're done.
They're already bad. How could they take a step back?
Well, I think CMC is not going to play more than 4 or 5 games. I think Purdy was a result of having tons of good weapons around him. That has completely eroded their defense this weekend. I think they'll be a sub 500 at best. I think that era is over with the Kittles and the CMCs and the Purdys and some of those guys. So I think I made 11 actually, but that's okay. I snuck an extra one there.
I just want to mention something here real quick before we get too far. So I know I picked, the LA Rams to win the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. I just don't want to jinx the Packers. Okay. Every time I pick something with them, like the fantasy draft earlier tonight, I could have taken Matthew Golden. I was like, no, I want him to be good. I'll take somebody else. So
Matthew Golden.
There you go.
Nobody said anything about the Eagles. I mean, we're just assuming the Eagles are going to run roughshod in the NFC East. And
I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to do very, very well.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in definitely in the mix come end of the season there. But so I just wanted to know that it was strategic.
So does that now negate the jinx?
No, because I didn't. My official prediction was
okay. Right, yeah. Wanted to make sure. All right, that's a lot of fun. Clearly, if Pittsburgh and San Francisco do really bad, I will eat the crow, and I don't have any rooting interest either way, so it don't really matter to me. But I think that'll sort of like be fun. And now that I'm thinking about it, how the hell is there not in Hall of Fame fantasy football league? All 3 of us are in one. We've all arranged our shows around fantasy football. The Mini Dashins of Seattle. Actually, the Seattle Mini Dashins. We're going to keep changing our name until we win one. I always do well in the regular season, then I'm bouncing the first round.
Yeah.
Every single time. And Dave, your team was again?
I have multiple. We have General Frank's Troopers. That's my most successful team.
Yeah, but you won 2 leagues last year, right? You said?
Yeah, that team has won back-to-back titles.
Okay.
I also won Memphis Mafia because I'm an Elvis fan. So maybe that would, if I was to do this league, it'd be Memphis Mafia.
Okay. And Chris, what's your team name?
So I got the Dead Ewoks in one league,
right,
and then I just go by the ice of the other league.
Yeah, I just gotta honor my dogs. What were we? Barbados Beach Dogs, the Winnipeg Ice Dogs, the Seattle Sea Dogs. And since I now have 1 dog, I had but that's a story for another time. But we got to do that. We got to do a Not in Hall of Fame league. Hey, if you're watching this, you want to be part of the Not in Hall of Fame league. I mean, like, what's another league for you guys, right?
Just fun.
Up to 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, just do another one, and it's just going to be us shit talking. Usually me losing. Because I never win at all.
I usually come away with a participation trophy, so that's where I'm at.
I wanted to say that the first year I did that, because I do that for my old company, Rocky Mountaineer. So shout out to that league. And Tracy Girardi for all the work that you do putting that together. My league is 1/3 women. Interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah. I don't know if it's different in Canada or I've just met the right women. Column A, column B, you don't know. But shout out there to her and the fine work that she does. Saying all of that, let's just close this up, wrap it up in a bow. Check out everything we do at www.notinhallofame.com, where we do everything Hall of Fame related. Lots of other shows. Chris and I are going to be recording this week the Elevator Show, where we look, hey, who has made a Hall of Fame case in the past month and who hasn't? We're going to be recording the August one shortly. I believe that is, did we say Tuesday or Wednesday? I know
Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, that's right, because I'm recording another show with our baseball friend, Robert Doback. Every now and then he wants to come on the show and just say, hey, so-and-so should be in the Hall of Fame, and here's why. So we're going to be doing that. This time we're going to be looking at those who were got overshadowed in the steroid era. Maybe sort of like lost a bit of that. Yeah, so maybe how Fred McGriff had to wait a little bit longer because of said thing. So I guess we're looking at, we didn't really discuss it, but non-PED users, or maybe PED users who just weren't as good.
Right. It's hard. The gray line is very wide.
Right. So that's what we're looking at. We've done a few that have gotten some good feedback. One's coming up where he's looking at Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe. So we got that. And we are going to be part of something also bigger too. Dave, you're going to be voluntold for this one, by the way. Because you're not doing a whole lot for our mock football one, but the mock baseball one's going to come in a few months. Where we're going to start from 1901. Yeah. Or 19...
now that I can bring some knowledge to.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that one pretty soon. And a WWE one. Because believe it or not, well, why not?
Yeah, I'm out on that one, bro. I'm out on that one.
I kind of figured you were. I'm thinking it might not be on the up and up.
The WWE one?
Yeah, no, I mean the whole WWE. Like, I don't know. I've been watching some wrestling there, and it doesn't look like, I don't know. It doesn't look like there might be some shenanigans afoot.
It's real, but scripted.
I don't want to think about that. But of course, we'll close off with the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Please vote. You can vote that every day, which is the best thing about this. It's also for the people, by the people, and the voting results in the rank are going to be public. So it's not that we want to embarrass the person who finishes last, but we're transparent because like that's what this all is. Hopefully you're seeing some ads we've been putting out on Reddit. So we're hoping that we're going to get we're already going to have the best turnout we've ever had. That much I can pretty much tell you right now, especially in coaches and contributors. And if there's someone we're missing, tell us. I'm always up to hear about people that might have sort of slipped through the cracks. I mean, like we got in Frank Zamboni, who's not in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
He should be.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he should be. But he's our only inventor who's in.
And there's a whole process to get people on the ballot. So it's not just the ballot shows up like Kirk sat behind the thing and came up with them. You know, there's a whole process that goes into.
Well, I nominated him, and then people decide. Well, actually, on the contributors, that's actually my sort of thing. So apologies for that, but there might be somebody who I'm forgetting because I'm male, I'm old, and I have dyed blonde hair. So I mean, there's three things working against me right there.
So far, so good. It's a stacked ballot. I mean, both contributors and coaches. My only tip, if you're first time voting out there, look through each page. Go through each page because you're going to find more than 25, more than 30 that you want to vote for. Go through, look through it everybody first, and then come back around and start making your selections. And vote daily, please. We're looking for as many people voting out there as possible.
And if you think, hey, how did you miss this guy? Could be two things. One, he might be already in. Two, you have to be 50. That's the only rule you have. Well, 50 in an American, which that's it. Those are the two rules. So we've had some people in the past say, how come Tiger Woods isn't there? Well, he wasn't 50 yet. So that's sort of why. Is Tom Brady not on the list? Because he's not 50. He will be pretty soon. He'll still look 20. But he's going to be there.
There's some jockeys that are already 50, still performing and on the ballot. So it goes that way too.
It's just my own personal preference. Look, I know you all love the heavyweight boxers, but show some of the lighter weight guys some love too. But anyway, that's just me. So clearly I can't force some of these lighter weight guys in because I really want that. But c'est la vie, ça c'est bon. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, make today count because it never comes again. Later.
See you guys.